AIS Play รวมความบันเทิงคุณภาพเปิดความสนุกทุกที่ทุกเวลา
ส่งต่อความมั่นใจสู้ไปด้วยกันนะครับ
Overnight last night, there were puddles on the ground this morning. First rain I've seen since I arrived in Jakarta nearly 2.5 weeks ago. It's been a miracle that we have had such great conditions here for this Asian Games baseball event, just as we had for the softball tournament last week and all the outdoor sports as well across the Indonesian capital. Mascots out on the field along with the two teams here. Great to see some Indonesian locals getting some great experiences. Maybe a further indoctrination into the baseball bug as the rest of the Chinese Taipei players coming out to the third base foul line. The Chinese players and managers are already spread out along the first base side. As you see John McLaren, their manager, looking to lead China to a result in the Asian Games they have yet to achieve. Fourth place in every previous Asian Games baseball tournament for the Chinese, even going back to the exhibition tournament in 1990 in China. They want to win a medal. Chinese Taipei, always medalists in the Asian Games baseball event. As you see the four main umpires for this game, 6 umpires in total. We have left field and right field umpires as well, just calling the fair lines. Those are both Indonesians, Sihotang and Suparman. It's Tomohisa Yamaguchi, the Japanese home plate umpire, calling the balls and strikes. Yang Jae-man, the Korean, at first base. Yoshinori Koide, another Japanese, at second base. And Chung Sui-man, the Hong Kong umpire, down at third base. Both teams facing out to the center field scoreboard, where the flags of the two countries will be displayed shortly and the national anthems will be played. It's a contest which has been dominated by Chinese Taipei in the Asian Games, 5-0 against the Chinese dating back to 1994. And if they can continue that streak, Chinese Taipei will add to their medal tally at this year's Asian Games. First, though, we will pause for both national anthems.
Please remove your cap and stand up for singing the Olympic anthem of Chinese Taipei and the national anthem of China. Now, the national anthem of China.
Both anthems impeccably observed as ever, and both teams ready to get this game underway. This is probably the game that the People's Republic of China would have expected to be in prior to the start of this tournament. It's not the game that the Taiwanese would have hoped to be in. They had in previous years contested the last 2 Asian Games finals and finished as the gold medalist in Qatar when there was no final as such. They did defeat Japan 8-7 in the final game of the round robin, which determined which team would finish undefeated and win the gold medal. But they're playing for bronze today, and they are the home team, Chinese Taipei. They finished 3rd in the super round standings on the tie break, and China finishing last. They have to bat first. Liu Zhenhong, the left fielder, leading things off. Li Ning, promoted up to the 2nd spot in the batting order, had been 3rd in previous games. Yang Shunyi, the designated hitter, back in the lineup. He bats 3rd after sitting yesterday's game out against Korea in place of Chen Junpeng. Those are the first 3 hitters for the Chinese to face off against Wang Chung-hao, the pitcher here for Chinese Taipei. Had a great outing against the Koreans, coming on in relief on opening day of Group B action. 3 innings pitched, only 1 hit, that 1 base runner allowed. Helped the Taiwanese get the 2-1 win over the Koreans then. He's played in both of the super round games as well. Just 1 batter faced, got the win against China. So he's trying to go 2 for 2 in that regard, although I'm not sure he'll have a very long pitch count. Very high pitch count, long leash. Yesterday against Japan, he faced 2 batters and walked them both. That did not help matters out for the Taiwanese. They wound up losing 5-0. A game they needed to win or lose by no more than 2 runs. And that could have been enough to see them through to play Korea this afternoon. But instead, the 3-way tie at the top of the super round standings. 3 teams on 2 wins and 1 loss. But the tiebreaker ultimately favoring the other 2 countries and not Chinese Taipei. The Taiwanese finished with a -4 run differential. Japan with +1, Korea with +3. And that's how things got to be where they are and how Chinese Taipei got to be in this game. And on the mound to start the game, Wang Chung-hao. Chinese Taipei defense pretty similar, 1 or 2 changes in the lineup. Chen Zhui-mu, the catcher, is starting his first game of the tournament, as is their shortstop Lin Su-chia. As for China, the first pitch hit to center field, over to left field actually. Play made by Tai Ju Lang as Liu Zhenhong flies out to left, the left fielder for China. 1 pitch and 1 out. So Li Ning straight away into the left-hand batter's box. First pitch taken outside corner for strike 1. Li 6 for 18 in the tournament, has a double and 5 singles, also 1 walk. He scored 5 runs. Only game in which he hasn't reached base with a hit was the game against Chinese Taipei 2 days ago. 0 for 4 with a strikeout and grounded into a double play. 1-1 pitch. That's a called strike. Wang starting as he means to go on the Taiwanese mound. Pitching from the windup. The 1-2. That's dribbled to the first baseman. Easy play for Chiang Chen-ming. 2 quick outs for China in the top of the first. Liu Zhenhong failing to add to his 8 hits in the competition. Li Ning still on 6 hits. 2 steps to the bag for Chiang. And up comes the designated hitter, Yang Shunyi, back in the lineup after missing out yesterday. 5 for 16 in the tournament, 5 RBIs for him. First pitch is fouled straight back. 0-1 the count. Four of those 5 RBIs for Yang came against Thailand on opening day in Group A. China's 15-0 win in 6 innings over the Thais. And a nice dipping pitch there. Yang swinging over the top of it from Wang, and quickly 0-2 to Yang Shunyi. Wang again, that pitch high, and Yang just leaves that one alone. Chu Fujia, the Chinese captain, on deck. But 2 out, and the 1-2 pitch from Wang Tsung-hao. Inside corner, called strike 3. That was efficient. Breezy top of the first for Wang and the Taiwanese defense. China no score in the top of the first. Chinese Taipei coming to bat, trying to move towards the bronze medal in Jakarta. And there's the Taiwanese batting order here for this game today. Changes all at the bottom of the batting order. The first 6 familiar names and positionings. But Xiao Po-ting, the second baseman, moved up to 7th in the order, having hit in the 8th spot in previous games. Chen Jui-mu, the new catcher, starting his first game of the tournament for Chinese Taipei, batting 8th. And the shortstop, Lin Su-chia, also his first start in Jakarta. He bats 9th. All of those players to face Meng Wai-chiang. He's pitching on normal rest, having gone 6 innings to get the win against Pakistan in China's 3rd and final game of the preliminary group stage, before the super round, that is. I say normal rest. He pitched on Tuesday, so he's got 3 days rest. A lot of pitchers happy working on 3 days rest. Certainly in Major League Baseball, it's more common to have at least 4 days rest, and very occasionally 5. But there's a school of thought which says that it's regular work that's what keeps the arm going, particularly if you're not going into high pitch counts. And only 6 innings of work for Meng against the Pakistanis means he should be ready to go in this do-or-die game for both teams, with medals for the winners and nothing for the losers. In that start for Meng, he went 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. That against the team which has locked up 5th spot in this Asian Games baseball competition. Pakistan defeating Hong Kong in the consolation group decider yesterday. Pakistan 5th, Hong Kong 6th, Indonesia 7th, Thailand 8th. Indonesia winning a wild game against Thailand, game that they led 10-0 but won 12-11. But back here at the GBK baseball field, first pitch is up and away from Meng Wai-chiang to Taiju Liang. Tsai 6 for 17 with a pair of walks in this tournament, but 1 for 8 in the super round against China and Japan collectively. Ahead in the count, though, 2-0. And I'm sure both managers willing to go to their bullpens early and often as required here today. 2-0 pitch. That's high, ball 3. Gotta think Tai will be taking the 3-0 pitch here. Prove that Meng, former WBC participant for China, can find the strike zone, and he does. Meng, part of the Chinese roster in the World Baseball Classic in 2013 and last spring. Also played in the Asian Games 4 years ago. Another 3-1 pitch. That's high. That's ball 4. And Taiju Liang starts things off for the Taiwanese with a base on balls. That's John McLaren, the Chinese manager. Had a brief chat with him on his way in from the Chinese bus to the Chinese locker room here today. I think he gets a kick out of managing this Chinese team. He's doubling up as the manager of the Texas Air Hogs in one of the independent minor leagues in North America, as Lin Han showing bunt but taking outside 1-0. A lot of these Chinese players getting more regular experience shuttling back and forth between China and that minor league team in Texas. It's a partnership between the Air Hogs, as they're called, and the Chinese Baseball Association via the Beijing Shougang Eagles, the club team. As the punt is laid down nicely down the first base line. Pitcher to the second baseman covering. Du Xiaolei making the put out at first. Sack 1-4 in the scorebook, and Ty is into scoring position with 1 out. Not only the second sacrifice bunt in the tournament for Chinese Taipei. As for McLaren in China, not a single bunt from them, only a single stolen base. It's been the opposite of small ball for China. McLaren wanting China to go big or go home in this tournament. As that pitch outside corner, strike 1 to Chiang Chen-ming. Chiang only 4 for 17 in the tournament, but does have a double and a triple to his credit. This pitch into right center field. Long run over, and the diving attempt by Li Ning not successful. Big puff of dust up against the wall. It's going to be an RBI triple for Chiang Chen-ming. And it's 1-0 for Chinese Taipei. That ball hung in the air for a very long time, but it was very well placed between Lee in right and Song Yun Chi in center field. Brilliant effort from Lee, although he might have taken a bad route to that ball. He went straight across and the ball just carried beyond him. If he'd gone back a little bit deeper, he might have been able to make that play. Instead, it's Chiang's second triple of this Asian Games. And a runner at third with only 1 out for Lin Chia-yu, who takes outside ball 1. Lin 5 for 14 this week in Indonesia with a home run, pair of doubles as well. And here it's a ground ball through the wickets of Chen Chen at third base. And that will score the run. 2-0 for Chinese Taipei. Very quickly flashed up as an error against Chen. Infield playing in, but that was a routine play. And you saw Chiang break back toward third base. He would not have come home, so that's not going to be an RBI for Lin. Should have been a ground out and a runner at third with 2 down. Instead, Lin at first with 1 out for Chan Su Shen, who takes ball 1 low and away. This is pretty much the Chinese disaster scenario taking root already in this game. Nobody up yet in the Chinese bullpen. 1-0 pitch coming from Meng Wai Chiang. Eventually, after he steps off the rubber. A walk, a sacrifice bunt, an RBI triple, and an error, leading to a pair of Taiwanese runs. 1-0 pitch, outside corner. Triple call for Meng and China. Now 1-1 on Chan. Chan started this Asian Games 0 for 5, But since then, he is 6 for 12, 2 for 4 yesterday against the Japanese. He did grind into a critical double play in the 9th when Chinese Taipei looking to start a rally. But this ball solidly hit into left center field. That'll fall for a hit. Song Yun-chi playing the ball and into second base with a double goes Chan Su-shan. Lin stopping at third. And Lin maybe stopping a bit too forcefully at third. He's getting looked at by the Taiwanese medical staff. Just stepped back behind third base. You see him trying to walk this off. Not sure if he jammed his foot into the bag. Watch the pitch first. It hung up in the strike zone. That curveball for Chan to hit. Got it toward the gap. That was difficult play to stop the double. Now watch Lin here. I pulled something. It wasn't the slide. It was the hammy that went. So that's going to be a very quick game for Lin Xiaoyu, and he'll be replaced by the pinch runner Lin Chen-fei. Bad luck for Lin Xiaoyu, the Taiwanese captain. So we'll have to wait and see how the Taiwanese defensive positionings get shuffled. As Lin, normally an infielder, he's played at shortstop as the starting shortstop in this tournament throughout. Anyway, 2 runners in scoring position and strike one at the knees to Chen Wei-chi, looking to really set Taiwan fair in this bronze medal game. Chen 4 for 12 with a triple and 2 doubles. One of those doubles yesterday, the only extra base hit for Chinese Taipei against Japan. Count now even at a ball and a strike. It's getting ugly early for China in this game. Very decent Chinese supporters section off down the first base side of the stadium as the 1-1. Ouch. Taiwanese dropping like flies here. Chen fouling that ball off, probably the ankle. And he's in a bit of pain here. Taiwanese manager Xu Chun-yi looking on. And might need another substitution here in the bottom half of the first inning. That's Wang Yan-kuo, the third base coach in the number 6 jersey, who has come out. That's off the instep of the foot, I think. It's got the padding there, the shin pad, I think there's an ankle guard there as well, but yeah, it's just hit off the foot. And Chen Wei-chi given plenty of time to settle himself here. John McLaren looking on. Sympathetic, I'm sure, but more concerned about his pitcher Meng White-Shang and the defense, which has let him down already in this first inning. Two hits, 2 runs, 1 error in this bottom half of the first inning. Back ready for the 1-2. Chen swings through strike 3. So that would at least give Chen a little bit of time to get back into the dugout. Maybe get some freezing spray on that foot. That pitch could have been there to be hit, but I wonder if Chen was still a little bit worried about that foot. And big strikeout and first pitch strike to Xiao Po-ting. 2 runners in scoring position, but now 2 out for Xiao, who is 4 for 13 here in Jakarta this week. 3 walks, 3 RBIs as well. 0-1 pitch. That's grounded to the second baseman, Du Xiaolei. Easy play. And China escapes without any further damage here in the bottom of the first. But Tianju Liang and Xiang Chen-Ming both coming around to score at the end of 1 inning complete. Chinese Taipei leading the People's Republic of China by 2 runs to nothing. To the top of the second we go, and positional changes defensively for Chinese Taipei. You see that Lin Tzu-chia has moved from shortstop to center field, and the pinch runner Lin Chen-fei staying in the game to play at shortstop. With Lin Chia-yu out, Lin Chen-fei will now bat 4th for Chinese Taipei as the first pitch to Chu Fu-jia, missing low and away for ball 1. Chu 3 for 16 in the tournament, 1 for 4 when these teams met 2 days ago. Turning on that pitch well, but missing the first base bag foul. Jiang over at first, playing very close to the line. Same is also true down at third for Chen Wei-chi, guarding against the double. This pitch dribbled down the first base line, but that will skew foul. Didn't get a chance to inspect the field personally before the game here today, but I'm sure that the rain that came down last night here in Jakarta can only have helped. That grass has been looking pretty parched, especially in foul territory on both sides of the stadium. As Wang now the 1-2 pitch, that is just dribbled off the end of the bat and allows Chu to stay alive, and the count to remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chinese captain Chu waiting in the left-hand hitter's batter's box. Again the 1-2 pitch. That's grounded to second. Xiao Po-ting, no problem. On to Chiang at first. And it's 4 up, 4 down for China to start this game. So despite pitching in each of the previous 2 games, each of the past 2 days for Chinese Taipei, Wang Sung-hao off to a promising start. Now he faces Chen Chen, who made that big error at third base in the first inning. And he takes strike 1. Not an earned run against Meng. Both runs earned in the top half of the first, despite the error. As Chen overmatched by that fastball, quickly behind 0-2. Chen 4 for 13 with a home run and a double in this Asian Games event, but 3 of those hits, and both the extra base hits, coming against Pakistan. Brushback pitch moves Chen off the plate. Close to the jersey there, but that's just the breeze ruffling his shirt. 1-2 pitch now. That is looped foul and out of play. Pitchers warming up in both bullpens now. Just soft tossing for the Taiwanese at this stage. You can see down the right field line there, Shen Hao Wei, actually one of the outfielders, throwing a baseball. And swung on and missed the pitch to Chen. Wang getting his second strikeout of the game. 2 outs, nobody on in the top of the second. Taiwanese pitchers now with 40 strikeouts against only 8 walks in this Asian Games baseball event, as Du Xiaolei now comes up. Chinese second baseman takes strike 1. Du Xiaolei 1 for 3 with a walk when these teams faced one another on Thursday. 5 for 16 in the tournament, and takes inside for ball 1, count even. Du Xiaolei played for China in last year's WBC when the Chinese finished 16th out of 16 teams. Played in the Asian Games 4 years ago in the Korean Republic. He's behind in the count, 1-2 now. The pitch. Poked right to the first baseman, Chang Chen-ming. Easily to the bag. And nothing going yet for the Chinese in this game offensively. 6 up, 6 down for John McLaren's boys. We go to the bottom of the second. Chinese Taipei leading this game by 2-0. Bottom of the second, Meng Wei Chiang facing Chen Juimu, the catcher for Chinese Taipei, who fouls the first pitch back into the netting. Chen 2 for 4 with a walk, the sum total of his offensive contributions. In this Asian Games, he came on as a substitute catcher against both China and Japan in the Super Round, but did not get any plate appearances. So the 5 that he does have, all in the group stage. Group B against Korea, Hong Kong, and Indonesia. And this pitch moves Chen back off the plate. But he won't mind. He's ahead in the count now, 2-1. Wind almost calm right now across the Gelora Bung Karno Sporting Complex. Fastball high for ball 3. Suddenly feels noticeably hotter here, and I'm sure Meng feeling hot under the collar as well on the hill for China. Pitching from the stretch, even with nobody on. 3-1. In there for strike 2. Some of these Chinese players will be headed back to Texas after this Asian Games tournament is done. Join that independent minor league team we were talking about, the Texas Air Hogs. Some of them might not play serious baseball for quite some time, except maybe back at club level in China. A very different standard of competition than these players are facing here today from Chinese Taipei. Payoff pitch to Chen Zhui-mu. Foul back. And firm ricochet. That ball springs all the way back to the far end of the Chinese dugout up the first base line. Off the facade above the scoring room behind home plate. Very good scorers we have in this Asian Games baseball tournament. Again, the 3-2 pitch from Meng Wei Chang is grounded sharply into the hole for a base hit. Always a little bit of luck on a ground ball like that. You can hit them firmly right at a fielder, and sometimes you hit them where they ain't. And that's what Chen Zhui-mu able to do there. So he's now 3-4-5 as a hitter in this tournament. Not a fast base runner, the portly catcher. 5'11", 209 pounds. Chen Zhui-mu, as first strike taking is Lin Tzu-chia. Lin only 1 for 7 I've got him at, but actually no, he's 1 for 9, that's right. Again, credit our scorers. They know what they're talking about. Struck out 3 times among those 9 outs. Also lined into a double play against Indonesia. Scoring to bunt 0-1, but taking strike 2. Lin started this game as the shortstop for Chinese Taipei. He's now playing in center field following the injury to Lin Chia-yu. Again, Lin Chen-fei now in the cleanup spot in the Chinese Taipei batting order. Short lead for Chen Zhui-mu at first. 0-2 pitch. Again, scoring to bunt, but taking just down low. In baseball leagues where there is no designated hitter, you will often enough see a pitcher in the 9 spot scoring to bunt with 2 strikes in a situation like this, but very rare to have a positional player do so. Bunt is on, and the bunt is laid down nicely. Du Xiaolei covering it first, taking the throw from Chu Fujia. Second sacrifice of the game for Chinese Taipei.
Number 15.
And over to second goes Chen Zhui-mu. With 2 strikes the count, that's a very good bunt by Lin. But the Taiwanese are trading a run for an out for a base running advancement, I should say. Which a lot of very smart baseball people will tell you is not a good idea over the long haul, as Tai, who walked to start the game, takes strike 1 from Meng. It's fine if you're playing for just 1 run in an inning. But if you're looking for more than one, this pitch fouled away 0-2 now. Tom Tango, one of the premier statisticians in baseball in North America, put together a run expectancy matrix based upon current average scoring trends. When you have a runner at first base and no outs, you will tend to score an average of 0.86 runs per inning. Runner at second, one out, you score an average of 0.66 run per inning. So you're basically trading an expected 1/5 of the run by giving up that free out. 0-2 pitch, I think that hit off the batter. Tai-Ju Liang is going to take first base. I think it was just a glancing blow, thankfully. And just off the arm guard. And off the home plate umpire Yamaguchi as well. I think his mask got doinked. So 2 on, 1 out for Chinese Taipei. Funnily enough, their run expectancy now back almost where it was with the runner on first and nobody out. That run expectancy starts with no balls and no strikes, by the way, as you see some spray being administered to Tai-Ju Liang. You could argue that with the 2-strike count on the batter, maybe the bunt does make sense, but of course you've got to get it down first time round because a foul bunt attempt would lead to strike 3. So can Meng pitch out of trouble here? First pitch to Lin Han is low for ball 1. Lin Han had that sacrifice bunt when Tai was on at first base back in the first inning. So he's officially 0 for 0 so far in this game. 1-0 pitch, grounded up the middle and through the hole between shortstop and center fielder, and the runner coming around from second, Chen Jui Mu, to score the 3rd run of this game for Chinese Taipei. That was not a hard hit ground ball, but it snuck past the pitcher Meng, and then it split Yang at short and Du Jialei at second. Diving effort from Yang Jin. Couldn't get there though, and even the slow-footed catcher Chen Jui Mu able to round third and lumber home. And that's going to be all for Meng Wei Qiang. Zheng Chaochun on to pitch for the People's Republic of China.
Feature change number D, China, number 34.
2 hits and a walk. 2 hits and a hit batter against Meng in this bottom half of the 2nd inning. 1 run already in. And so 4 hits, a walk, a hit batter, 3 runs so far. The book on Meng in this game. Both runners on base. His responsibility as Zheng Chaochun trying to match his performances earlier in this tournament. He's pitched 2 innings, 1 against Japan, 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout. That was rare against Japan in that 17-2 win for the Japanese. And pitched 1 inning against Chinese Taipei 2 days ago. Gave up a hit, but nothing more. That was the 8th inning that he pitched in that 1-0 game. Won by the Taiwanese.
Number 16, Zhang Chemin.
Zheng Chaochun, also part of the WBC squad for China last spring. Zhang Chen-Ming up. He had the RBI triple with 1 out back in the first inning. He's back up again here in the second with a chance to cause more Chinese damage. First pitch from Zheng Chao-chun on the way. Outside corner, Shang shaping to bunt. I don't know where these small ball tactics have come from for the Taiwanese. Maybe Xu Shunyi telling Chang to show the bunt there, but take the first pitch regardless of where it was located. 0-1, that's hit hard to left field. Long chase up against the wall. A catch made by Liu Zhenhong. Leaping grab from Liu to deny Chang a second extra base hit in this game. Both runners thought that ball was going to get in for a hit or maybe even go out for a homer. Neither could advance on an excellent defensive play from Liu Zhenhong. And so 2 out, 2 on for Lin Chen-Fei, the new cleanup hitter for Chinese Taipei. Came on as a pinch runner after Lin Chia-yu appeared to pull a hamstring on his way into third base on the double by Chan Tzu-Shen last inning. Chance to make his own offensive contribution, taking just high for ball 2. Trouble for China. 2-0 pitch. Fouled straight back. Didn't miss that one by much, did Lin Chen-Fei. Those his numbers for this tournament. I've got him at 3 for 8, but what do I know? All of his hits, extra base hits, 2 doubles and a triple, and that pitch sinks low. Hitters count 3-1 to Lin. Lin with 7 RBIs in this tournament thus far. And this pitch is popped up right side. Long chase, but too long. Into the crowd it goes. Chu Fujia, no chance there for the Chinese defense, but the count now full on Lin Chen-Fei. That means the runners will be off with Zhang's payoff pitch. Right-hand hitter waits. 3-2 pitch. Grounded to the third baseman, who has time to just beat Tai Zhu Lang to the bag. Chen Chen making the play this time. And Chinese Taipei restricted to just the 1 run in this bottom half of the second inning. Chen Zhuimu the scorer. And after 2 complete, it's 3-0 for Chinese Taipei in the hunt for the bronze medal in Jakarta. Wang Tzu-hao perfect thus far in this game. 6 hitters faced, 6 outs recorded, and 2 strikeouts among them. Only 23 pitches through 2 innings, 9 in the first, 14 in the second. And he's got the bottom third of the Chinese order due up. That pitch, first pitch, should be an out. Xiao to Chang to retire Luan Chen, the Chinese catcher here today. This has been a breeze.
Number 27, Song Yin-chi.
Luan Chen now 7 for 16 in the tournament. He had been tied for 5th in batting average in this Asian Games baseball tournament prior to that out. And Song Yun-chi up. Pops the first pitch, right side, long chase over for Chan Su-shen, but he's gotten there and he makes the grab. This is too easy.
Number
2 pitches, 2 outs in the top of the third. And Yang Jin, the shortstop, who is 4th in batting average in Jakarta this week, 8 for 17. A pair of doubles included. And he takes ball 1 outside the strike zone. Two for 4 against the Koreans yesterday. And swinging strike, the ruling there, without recourse to the third base umpire. Tomohisa Yamaguchi behind the plate making the call. Count even 1-1. This pitch grounded to second again. Xiao, routine to Chang. And it's a 5-pitch inning for Wang Tzu-hao. He can go the distance pitching like this. 9 up, 9 down for China. They trail Chinese Taipei still 3-0 in the bronze medal game. Zhang Chao-chun back out on the mound for his first complete inning of work, hopefully, for the Chinese. Great job in relief of Meng Wai Chiang last inning. Got that deep fly out to left from Chiang Chen-ming, which Lu Zhenhong went into the wall to make the catch upon, and then Lin Shenfei grounding to third. So 2 outs and 2 batters faced for Zhang, as he's now got Chan Su-shen up at the plate. Chan had a double back in the first inning for Chinese Taipei. Zhang from the windup here and gets a called strike 1. Chan now 7 for 18 in the tournament. Pair of doubles. And takes ball one. A curveball that did not drop into the strike zone. Taiwanese fans chanting away as ever. And not a very generous inside strike call for Zhang against Chan. One-two pitch. Pop foul out of play. I think there might have been a defensive change for the Chinese prior to the start of this half inning. Just looking to confirm that. Li Ning does not appear to be in right field. And it does appear as though Luo Jinjin is out there. Bit of a utility player for the Chinese as this 1-2 pitch is looped into right field. And that will be the second baseman's responsibility. Du Jiaolei back onto the grass to retire Chan and get the first Chinese Taipei out in the bottom of the third inning. So Chan is 1 for 2, and Chen Wei-Chi, who struck out back in the first inning, a big strikeout at the time for Meng Wei Chang. Cue shot over to the first baseman at the second attempt. Chu Fujia making the play. And now there are 2 down. In fact, just to confirm, it's actually Luo Jinjin at second base. So Du Jiaolei has been replaced. Luo is on at second. It was he who caught the pop-up from Chan Su Shen. Li Ning still in right field. Got all that? Hopefully you do. I'm not sure I do yet. And his first pitch just wide of the strike zone to Xiao Po Ting for ball 1. Xiao grounded to second base to end the first inning, stranding a pair of runners aboard. Swings through that. Strike 1. Taiwanese have already left 4 runners aboard through the first 2 innings. But they won't leave anybody on base in this inning with swings like that. 1-1 pitch. Curveball, strike 2. One-two pitch. Grounded weakly foul. Because run expectancy charts are fun and math is good for the soul, I can point out that with 2 outs, nobody on, you'll average 1/10 of a run per inning. So the odds against Taiwanese here, the 1-2 pitch, that is stroked out to right center field, long run over, and able to make the play, Li Ning, to retire the side for Chinese Taipei. 1-2-3 inning for Zheng Qiaochun. He's now retired 5 batters out of 5. And we have got 3 innings in the books in this bronze medal game. Chinese Taipei still leading China 3-0. People's Republic of China is still looking for their first base runner against Wang Tsung-hao. As back to the top of the Chinese batting order we go to start the top half of the fourth inning. And Liu Zhenhong taking strike one from Wang Tsung-hao. Only 28 pitches through 3 innings for Wang. 0-1, just missing outside. Liu with the sparkling catch against the left field wall, denying Chang Cheng-Ming of his second extra base hit of the game back in the second inning. As the Islamic call to prayer rings out beyond the outfield walls of this GBK baseball stadium. Liu now behind 1-2 in the count to Wang. And the pitch fouled away just over our heads. And out towards one of the Asian fan zones in this GBK complex for the 2 weeks of the Asian Games. A lot of live music going on. 1-2 pitch misses high, count even 2-2. A few television screens around to watch some of the action, both from Jakarta and Palembang on Sumatra. That pitch squid back to the pitcher. Nice job, Wang fielding his position and getting Liu out at first. 1 down for China. Weak contact induced. Pitchers love weak contact. It might have been a tricky play had it gotten past Wang, mind you, but only so much a pitcher can control. Get him to hit it weakly, and you've won at least half the battle already. As Li Ning, who grounded to the first baseman Chang back in the first inning, head in the count 1-0. The pitch jammed on that one. It's going to be a tough play for the pitcher covering. Does he win the race to the bag? He does. The call by the first base umpire Yang Jae-man, the Korean. He started to signal safe, but I think he got it right. I'm not sure that should have been the first baseman's play anyway, Chang. That should have been easy for the second baseman, Du Jiaolei. See how far over he was. But watch the touch of the base. It was inches the difference. This will be the better angle to see. Not sure. Not sure at all. Two down, and first pitch fouling the batter Yang Shun-yi. The 1 pitch. Again, weak grounder down the third base line. Into the Taiwanese dugout for strike 2. Still pitchers getting ready in the Taiwanese bullpen. It may be that as soon as Wang gives up a base runner, he's pulled from the game. But as long as he keeps getting men out, you got to leave him in there, Coach Shirley. As I say that, there goes the no-no. First hit of the game, first runner of the game. It's Yang Shun-yi, a little soft single into right field on an 0-2 pitch as well. Pity. Too early to start thinking about no-hitters, of course. But the first batter of 12 for the People's Republic of China to get on base in this game. And so it's up to Chu Fujia, Chinese captain, at the plate. Lefty matchup. Pitcher and hitter both left-handed. First pitch just missing low. Things can turn around pretty quickly in this game. Big fly from Chu would make it a 1-run contest as he tried to check his swing but made contact on the follow-through. That goes down as a strike. Chu only 1 extra base hit in now now 17 official at-bats here in Jakarta this week. 1-1 pitch, that's grounded right side of the infield. Play made by Xiao Po-ting, and on to first. It's a retired Chu. Chu Fujia's second ground out to Xiao at second. First runner reaching base, first runner left on for China. 3.5 done, still 3-0 for Chinese Taipei. China, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error in this game. Chinese Taipei, 3 runs on 4 hits, and perfect fielding. As we go to the number 8 hitter for Chinese Taipei, it's Chen Jui-mu, who singled and scored in the second inning for the 3rd run this afternoon, as it is now for Chinese Taipei. 11 a.m. start, the first morning beginning to a game here, as that pitch line into the right center field gap, down for at least a single, but over to cut that ball off nicely, Li Ning, so it'll just be the 2nd single of the day for Chen Jui-mu. Went to a full count before he got his first hit of the game, but this much earlier in the count. And a nice compact swing. Sighting that ball nicely. Didn't quite smack it hard enough to get past Li and roll to the wall, which would have led to a double. Instead, just a single. And Lin Tzu-chia up. He sacrificed Chui over to second base back in the 2nd inning, and trying to do so here, but takes high for ball 1. Lin still officially 1 for 9 in Indonesia this week, after that sacrifice bunt in the 2nd inning. And taking high ball 2. How does that change the potential calculus here for Chinese Taipei manager Xu Xunyi? Short lead at first. That was a good pitch to bunt, but Lin might have been taking. Count out 2-1 on the shortstop turned center fielder today. And again, Lin showing bunt. This time gets it down to the pitcher. One play to first, and the throw is miles away. Runner coming to third, and the brakes put on. Disaster for China. When they give you an out, you absolutely have to take it. Instead, Lin Suchia to second, and Chen Zhui Mu to third base. Pitcher, his own worst enemy here. That ball sailed a good 3 feet over the glove of Chu Fuji at first. Actually, the second baseman, Luo, I think, covering. Second error of this game against the Chinese, and that could be a killer blow in this game. Two runners in scoring position, nobody out. Go back to that run expectancy chart. You'll average 2 runs per inning, just under 1.96 to be precise. In this situation, in modern Major League Baseball at least, it might be slightly different at this level. As the leadoff hitter for Chinese Taipei, Tai Julang, ahead in the count 1-0. Infield in for China. Everybody on the grass, trying to cut off a run at the plate on a sharp grounder as that pitch, breaking ball missing high. 2-0 now. Only one free base available, and Tai Juliang might just be eyeing that first base. Walked in the first and scored, hit by a pitch in the second. Now the 2-0. He's swinging but pops it up. That'll get out of play, however, down the right field line. Onto the roof. Clank. The ball falls back out onto the field of play. It just rolled back down off the aluminum roof. If there's a slant on this roof, it's only a very slight one. But it is sloping forward, apparently. That's what we've seen there. Ball boys scoop up the loose ball, and the count now 2-1 to Tai Juliang. Zhang Chao-chun delivers. Low, ball 3. Outfielders playing pretty much straight away. Infielders in on the grass again for the 3-1 pitch. And that is hit pretty hard to right field. Back on his horse, over his head. Li Ning can't get there. This is going to be a 2-run triple for Tai Juliang. And it's 5-0 now for Chinese Taipei. Both runners could wait, see if that ball would get over Li's head. And that it did, scoring Chen Zhui Mu from third base and Lin Suchia from second. And out to the hill comes John McLaren with the hook. Zhang, his own worst enemy in that inning. After the single for Chen, the throwing error on the sacrifice bunt attempt. And it'll be up to Qi Xin coming on in place, I should say, of Zhang Chao-chun. With runner at third and still nobody out in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Even though it's a pitcher's fielding error, the run scored by Lin Chia will be considered as unearned. So it's 5 runs conceded and 4 of them earned thus far, but the runner at third base would be an earned run if Ty comes around to score. Six hits now for Chinese Taipei in this game. And the new pitcher, Chi Xin, has pitched 2 1/3 innings in this tournament. He retired 5 Taiwanese batters perfectly 2 days ago in a relief appearance.
Now batting, number 10, Lin Han.
It was Lin Chia-yu, Chen Su-shen, Chen Wei-chi, Chen Jui-mu, and Xiao Po-ting that our new pitcher retired on Thursday against Chinese Taipei. And now he's facing Lin Han, the designated hitter. RBI single in the second, sacrifice bunt in the first for Lin. So he's 1 for 1 today. Infield again in, and the first pitch up for ball 1. Oh, it definitely feels hotter today without a cooling breeze blowing through the grandstands here. Chinese fans using their fans rather than clapping thus far in this game down the first baseline grandstand. And Lin ahead on the count from Chi, 2-0. A 5-0 lead might already be insurmountable. They're looking to pad this lead. It's swinging 2-0 and fouling back is Lin Han. Chinese Taipei had scored only 3 runs against the 3 toughest opponents for them here in this competition. The 3 teams whose results counted in the Super Round standings. They defeated Korea 2-1. Defeated China 1-0 2 days ago and then lost 5-0 to Japan last night. Only a few more runs needed against the Japanese to see them through to the gold medal game, but they are currently very much holding the whip hand in the race for the bronze. As that ball skied to right field, this should score the run. Making the catch, leaning, tagging at third base is Ty. The plate was close. Good throw from Lee, but it still goes down as a sacrifice fly, and the 6th Taiwanese run here this afternoon. So Chi Xin gets the out.
Number 16, Zhang Jianming.
But the runner scores. That run and close the book now on Zheng Chao-chun. An inning and 2/3 pitched, 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, and that's it. Ball 1 low to Chiang Chien-ming now with nobody on base for Chinese Taipei. Chiang 1 for 2 with a triple and a near home run. A good catch out in left field against the wall by Liu Zhenhong. And that pitch outside corner for strike 1 to Chiang. Chi Xin can pitch from the windup now as that curveball down at the very bottom of the strike zone. And then dipping below for ball 2. Low and away with the fastball now, so 3-1 the count. Got to give Chang the green light here. Surely 3-1. Pitch is swinging, but fouling back, so the count goes full. Chinese Taipei Olympic flags very much on display here. To my left, the 3-2 pitch is skewed foul, and that could cause car trouble on the streets of Jakarta. As we've been saying throughout this week, at the Gelora Bung Karno baseball field, just beyond the first base grandstand, not very far behind the stadium, is the street. 3-2 pitch, that's fouled away straight back and just over the roof. See that very narrow gap between the protective netting and the roof here. You can have the occasional foul ball sneak into the main stands, but it has to be perfectly positioned. There's that pitch. High and away to Chang, so he's on base for the second time in this game. 1 for 2 with a walk now. I think I saw a foul ball go through that gap in the very first inning of the very first game here between Hong Kong and Indonesia, and since then, nothing.
Number 11, Lin Shenfei.
But that far less significant than what's happening on the field right now, as Lin Shenfei will get his second plate appearance with 1 on and 2 out. Shishin again from the stretch. First pitch low and in for ball 1. According to the competition rules that I have in front of me here, there is a mercy rule potential in the bronze medal game, but not in the gold medal game. The final later on this afternoon between the Republic of Korea and Japan will go all 9 innings, come hell or high water. And we could have some water. There's some showers potentially in the forecast as the pickoff throw to first easily back is Chang. The ground rules about rain delays and rainouts are maddeningly non-specific. That pitch is skied back and again over the roof. So 2-1 the count to Lin Shenfei. There are rules about suspended games, but it doesn't really specify what happens if it rains and how long they can go and have a delay for. As this pitch popped up, the shortstop Yang Jin taking charge and making the catch to retire Lin Shenfei for the second out of this bottom half of the 4th. I think I might have thought there were 2 outs there, but now there are 2 Taiwanese batters down. The 7th hitter of the inning coming up, Chan Su-shen. Apart from the bottom half of the 3rd inning, we've had some very quick half innings followed by some very long half innings. We're on about a 3-hour pace for this game, which is about average, what is scheduled to happen. Maybe just a touch over that now, with Taiwanese still batting here in the bottom of the 4th. But it's been 2/3, maybe even 3/4 of the time of this game with Chinese Taipei at the plate, as that curveball high and outside the strike zone for ball 1 to Chan Su-shen. Doubled in the 1st inning, popped out to the shortstop to lead off the 3rd, did Chan. Back up again in the 4th for the 1-1 pitch, and that is crushed to left field. Going back is Lu Jianhong, looking up. It's gone. 2-run home run for Chan Su-shen. 5 runs now for Chinese Taipei in the fourth. It's 8-0 against the People's Republic of China.
Number 62.
That was a no-doubter. Pitch up in the zone. Chan got all of it, and it left the yard big time. Keep wanting to say that in the left center. That's the 361-foot sign, but it's a 361-degree sign. Not the first hit given up by Chi. And now a grounder to the second baseman, booted by Luo, but on to first in time to retire Chen Wei-chi. Chen is now 0 for 3 in this game, but that seems pretty immaterial right about now. 5 runs for the Taiwanese in the fourth. It's 8-0 through 4 complete for Chinese Taipei in the bronze medal game over the People's Republic of China. Those players are happy, and why wouldn't they be? Chan Su-shen. Pair of extra base hits in this game, a double and now a homer. And Chinese Taipei cruising toward the bronze in Jakarta. Wang Sung-hao back out onto the mound for Chinese Taipei to start the Chinese 5th inning. Needs to get 3 more outs to be eligible for his 2nd win of the tournament and 2nd win against China. He only pitched a third of an inning 2 days ago against the Chinese to pick up a very cheap win, but this has been a very efficient win. Only 43 pitches thus far. Nine pitches in the first inning, 14 pitches in the second inning, only 5 pitches in the third inning, and then 14 more in the fourth. 1-1 count now on Chen. Taken just outside the zone for ball 2. Chen, one of Wang's 2 strikeout victims in this game thus far. Moment of levity on the mound as that pitch outside corner for strike 2. Wang pitching from the windup. 2-2. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Chen does not like it, but he's got to go. Rung up at third base by the Hong Kong umpire Chung Sui Man. Watch it here. And I think he's got a case, Chen. Pair of strikeouts for him. And first pitch, cue shot foul from Luo Jinjun. Came on in the fourth inning, rather the bottom of the third inning, as a defensive replacement for Du Xiaolei, getting his first plate appearance today and only his third of the tournament. In his previous two, he's got a strikeout and a ground out into a double play, so it's not looking great for Luo thus far. And he's behind in the count, 0-2. Wang's pitch is hit into center field. Long run over, that might drop, but a diving effort, and it's made by Lin Su-chia for the second out of the top of the fifth. Lin started this game as the shortstop for Chinese Taipei, and now the leaping grab in center field. He's got positional versatility, doesn't he? China getting beaten in all three facets of the game: hitting, pitching, and defense just now. 2 outs, first pitch to Luan Chen outside the zone for ball 1. He grounded to second base to lead off the top half of the third inning, did Luan. And that's a called strike. The 11th pitch of the inning is up the middle. Ricochet to the shortstop. Long throw. It's going to be in time. Wang getting a piece of that, probably stopping the ball from going into center field. And Lin Shenfei adjusting at short. And Wang Sung-hao has still only given up 1 base runner through 5 innings. That's the single to Yang Shunyi back in the 4th. Halfway mark of this game as scheduled, and it's 8-0 for Chinese Taipei, looking for bronze against China here in Jakarta. Bottom of the 5th, it's the bottom of the Taiwanese order due up against Qi Xin, still in the game after giving up that 2-run home run to Chan Tzu Shen in the bottom half of the 4th. Gets a called strike against Xiao, who is 0 for 2 with a ground ball to the second baseman Du Xiaolei at the time, and then a fly out to right and Li Ning in his 2 trips to the plate. 1 pitch, breaking ball low for ball 1. We have other Taiwanese Asian Games competitors in the house just now. Members of some of their other competitive teams, from weightlifting to bridge. And yes, the card game bridge has been contested at this Asian Games. That was not within the GBK facility. I was intrigued enough to wonder what it might look like to see a bunch of people playing competitive bridge. I was going to pop in. I like a good card game or two myself. That pitch turned to the second baseman, Luo Jinjun. He'll make the play to first just. Chu having to stretch. He makes the grab, and Xiao now 0 for 3. More of a spades player myself as far as trick-taking games go. A little bit simpler. I'm more a fan of the bidding, as you see that nearly handcuffed Luo over at second, but got a bit lucky. The ball off the edge of the glove and sticking to his body. Strike one called on Chen Jui Mu, who has 2 singles and 2 runs scored in this game. Not bad for the backup catcher. Playing primarily today because of the awful day in the field as a thrower that Huang Chiawei had yesterday against Japan. Allowed 4 stolen bases and one of those a throwing error into center field, allowing the runner to escape onto third base. As Chen stays alive 0-2. Curveball fought off again, foul by Chen. Chen and Lin Suchia both scored on the 2 RBI triple by Taiju Lang just last inning, when Chinese Taipei sent 8 batters to the plate. They've already had innings in which they've sent 8, 7, and 6 hitters to the plate. Those are the 3 innings in which they have scored all 8 of their runs thus far. Count now 1-2 to Chen Jui Mu. Pitch. Got it up the middle, but the shortstop Yang shaded him well, and easy throw to first to retire Chen for the first time today. Not really much of a need for the Taiwanese fans to go crazy thus far. They have the big lead and comfortably cruising toward the bronze medal, it would seem. As Lin Suchia sacrificed bunt in the second and tried to sacrifice bunt in the 4th inning. Don't think that'll be counted as an official at bat on him. He reached on the throwing error. Horrendous throwing error it was by Zheng Chao Chun. Oh, 1 the count on Lin. The pitch. Curveball just low. Count even. That's almost clean out the third base coach. Wang Yan Kuo for Chinese Taipei. Not sure if he's wearing a box or a cup or whatever you want to call it down there, but I hope he is. It's the little things in life sometimes. And I'm not referring to the Taiwanese third base coach. Two-two pitch. Golfed for by Lin, but that's fouling out of play. Qi Xin trying to retire the Taiwanese 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. It would be the second 1-2-3 inning for the Taiwanese in this game. The 2-2 pitch, curveball in the dirt, and Lin not interested, so the count goes full. Payoff pitch is hit to left field, but pulled well foul. That's some distance that ball did off the bat of Lin. We'll do the 3-2 again. She's pitched. That is hit high to center field. Actually hooking toward left field, beg your pardon. And underneath it is Liu Zhenhong to make the third out of the inning. So Qixin does get the 1-2-3 inning after giving up the home run to Chan in the fourth. 5 innings complete now in this bronze medal game. Our score, Chinese Taipei 8, People's Republic of China, nothing. I'm Darren Kilfair, the grounds crew coming out onto the field. It's time to make the usual repairs and remarkings and adjustments to this playing surface. So we will take an extended break, be back in a couple of minutes' time for the top half of the 6th inning with China in a huge hole. Chinese Taipei cruising towards the bronze. The maintenance staff has cleared the field here at the GBK baseball field in Jakarta. Darren Kilfera back with you for the top of the 6th inning of this bronze medal match between Chinese Taipei and the People's Republic of China. A game being comfortably won by Chinese Taipei. They won the super round game between these two teams by only 1-0 2 days ago. I've had my banana like a good tennis player during a changeover. Not exactly running in place here in the commentary position, but it's a warm day. It's important to keep fully refreshed, whether you're out on the field or you're staying hydrated in the grandstands, or you're hopefully entertaining people out watching and listening to this game across Asia and elsewhere. Chinese Taipei beginning this day with 60 medals in the Asian Games, 16 golds, 17 silvers, and 27 bronzes. So this would be bronze number 28 if they can hang on to this 8-0 lead that they have. And they are entrusting Wang Tsung-hao to again pitch for their team. He's gone 5 innings thus far. He has allowed 1 hit and no walks. 3 strikeouts, not a lot of pitches. In fact, I'd wager to say it's been the most impressive start in this entire tournament to date. A lot of the good teams in this competition, when facing lesser quality opposition, have not let their pitchers go the distance. And that Chinese lineup you see on the bench, they have really struggled against Wang and against Taiwanese pitching throughout this competition. First pitch, outside corner. Again, the efficiency, only 54 pitches into the 6th inning for Wang. 0-1, inside corner, strike 2 to Song Yun-chi. And that pitch just missing inside corner. I think Wang wanted it. Wang, one of the 5 pitchers who combined for the shutout for Chinese Taipei against China barely 48 hours ago. Wu Shengfeng got the start, went 5 2/3 innings. This pitch back up the middle, easy play for Wang on to first, throw a little bit low. And he gets Song out. And 1 out very quickly in the top half of the 6th. That brings up Yang Jin, the shortstop, who grounded a second to end the 3rd inning. Throw again. A little bit casual. Wang gets away with it. Amazing that a pitcher who can throw so many strikes, keep the ball so close to home plate, and has a soft toss over to first base and nearly throws it away. Wang hit 1-0, and that pitch goes low. Maybe Wang affected by his control issues over to Chang at first. A 2-0 pitch grounded to the right side of the infield, and Xiao Po-ting, another assist for Xiao. 2nd ground out to the 2nd baseman for Yang Jin in this game. 5th assist against the first 18 Chinese batters in this game, recorded by Xiao Po-ting. Only the 8th pitch of the inning from Wang to Liu Zhenhong, back to the top of the Chinese order. Misses low and away for ball 1. Wang is cruising. 1-0 pitch. Missing low and away. So 2 straight hitters he's gone to a 2-0 count on. Liu, who flied to left in the 1st and grounded back to the pitcher in the 4th. As the breeze, a warm breeze, just starting to blow across the field here. There's another 2-0 ground ball to the second baseman. Xiao's enjoying his routine fielding practice. Another 1-2-3 inning for Wang Sung-hao, his 5th of the day. Only 1 hit and no walks for China. They continue to trail Chinese Taipei at 8-0. Qixin will carry on for China, pitching to this Chinese Taipei lineup in the bottom half of the 6th inning. First up, the number 1 hitter in the Chinese Taipei lineup, Taiju Liang. Walked in the first and scored, hit by a pitch in the second. 2 RBIs on a triple in the 4th, and then scored on the sacrifice fly from Lin Han. And ahead on the count, 2-0 from Qixin. Bronze medals to all the players on the roster and the coaches of the winning team of this game after the gold medal game later on this afternoon and evening. 4 p.m. start Jakarta time for the gold medal tilt between Japan and Korea. The 2-1 pitch now coming up to Taiju Liang from Qixin. It's high and away, ball 3. Taking a look at the list of Asian Games sports this year in Indonesia, I'm almost certain that the largest podiums anywhere in these Asian Games will be constructed for use here at the baseball venue. That's strike 2, count full to tie. 24-man roster, adding the coaches as well. It's got to be pretty darn wide, times 3 to fit everyone across. Full count pitch. That's down the right field line, but slicing foul. Right field umpire Suparman Asep from Indonesia able to make that call with no difficulty. This is akin to a World Series type setup with 6 umpires, the normal 4 around the infield, plus the 2 down the lines, just there to call foul or fair, really. Maybe to signal whether a catch has been made if there's a potential trap call out in the outfield by someone. Again, the payoff pitch, a tie is in the dirt. Second walk of the game for him. 4th time in 4 trips to the plate on base in this game. And someone for Chinese Taipei is very happy and starting the chant for the Taiwanese. Mercy rule is in play right now. The potential winning run at the plate here. They can push across 2 here in the top of the 6th and stop China from scoring in the bottom of the 6th, rather, we are in now. And this pitch sky to left field, but that's going to hook foul by Lin Han. Anyway, if Chinese Taipei can score 2 here in the bottom of the 6th, take a 10-run lead, and then keep the Chinese from scoring in the top of the 7th, that would do it. And guarantee the bronze for the Taiwanese. And a longer layoff than expected prior to the gold medal game. A little bit more practice for the hitters. That pitch, swinging bunt. Long throw to first. Good play made there by Chi Shin on the hill. Tai Juliang on to second. Fielder's choice. That was not straightforward for Chi Shin at all. Scampering off the mound, bare hand pickup, and got the runner by a good step and a half. Now Chiang Chen-ming goes down the right field line, but that slicing into the Chinese bullpen. Chi Shin has now pitched 2 1/3 innings. He's nearly reached the same pitch count that Wang Sung Hao has through 6 innings for the Taiwanese. And now Chi steps off the rubber. Chi Shin stretches the 0-1 pitch, grounded up the middle. This only a play available at first base for Yang Jin as the runner Tai advances across to third base. So a walk and then a pair of ground outs induced by Chi Shin. And it's the cleanup hitter, the replacement cleanup hitter, Lin Chen-fei. 0 for 2 in this game since coming on in relief of the hamstrung Lin Chia-yu. This up the middle for a base hit. An RBI base hit it is for Lin. First pitch swinging and knocking Tai Juliang in with the 9th run of the game for Chinese Taipei. So 1 run away from the Mercy Rule target. And a very slow trot home for Tai as Chan Tzu Shen in. He had a 2-run home run in the 4th inning and a double in the 1st. Also popped out to the shortstop to start the 3rd inning. So he's 2 for 3 in this game. And now 8 for 20 in these Asian games. 6 RBIs. That pitch smacked up the middle. Nice hop though for Yang. Flips to low, covering at second. And that'll do it for Chinese Taipei in the 6th. But they tack on another run. It's 9-0 now after 6. 3 innings left scheduled in this bronze medal match. But Chinese Taipei almost certainly on their way to the bronze. Slightly surprisingly for me, Wang Tsung-hao has been pulled after 6 innings of sparkling pitching. 62 pitches it took to get through 18 outs. Only 1 hit allowed, no walks, 3 strikeouts. And he stands to win his 2nd game of this Asian Games baseball tournament. On in his place, another Wang. It's Wang Yu-pu. Only 1 inning pitch for him in this tournament. That against Indonesia on the final day of group stage action. That in Group B, that the commanding win of 15-0 for Chinese Taipei in 7 innings against our Indonesian hosts, who have been a real treat to watch, despite collecting just the 1 win, that against Thailand yesterday in the consolation round. First pitch from Wang Yu-pu, right in there for strike 1 to Li Ning. Li Ning has twice grounded to first. 1 unassisted put out by Chang Chen-ming, 1 a flip to the pitcher Wang. And now ball 1 well outside, the fastball missing. Li Ning taking strike 2 at the corner. Li Ning only 23 years of age, plenty more national team baseball in his future, you'd think. As he pokes this ball very weakly to the shortstop, Lin Shenfei. Loop out to short. And Lee retired to start the top half of the 7th.
Now batting, number 32, Yang Shun-yi.
So Yang Shun-yi up, the only man for the People's Republic of China to reach base in this game. Singled in the 4th after getting called out on strikes in the 1st, and swings through strike 1 here. And strike 2 inside corner at the knees. I don't really think the Chinese government will miss out on the bronze medal here, assuming a miraculous comeback does not occur. Inside the pitch, and no swing signaled by first base umpire Yang from Korea. China starting the day with 60 bronzes already, 85 silvers, 118 golds for 263 Asian Games medals. 1-2 pitch, sliced foul and out of play. Count stays 1 ball 2 strikes. China 118 gold medals, the 2nd highest gold medal tally, that of Japan with 69. And numerous chances to add to the Japanese tally today. Baseball final tonight, one of those chances. I know they're in the men's hockey final, they're in the men's football final. And I'm sure many other opportunities as well as the main day of athletics. There's the final 2 events of the diving competition. Japanese interest in both of those. Rugby 7's taking place. Japan, probably the best Asian rugby country. And pitch fouled away down the right field line again, possibly onto the street for an unexpected souvenir for a passerby, or a dent in a fender possibly. Hopefully not knocking a driver off of a scooter or a moped or something. 2-2 pitch, down and in. Count full now to Yang Shun-yi. Three-two pitch, low and inside, ball 4. So Yang Shun-yi, he's now 1 for 2 with a walk. The only Chinese batter coming out of this game with any credit thus far.
Number 13, Chu Fu-jia.
And Chu Fu-jia is up with Yang down to first base. Chu has twice grounded out to the second baseman Xiao Po-Ting in this game. Lefty-lefty matchup, pitcher and hitter, and that slider maybe missing outside by a distance. It's ball one. Is trickled off the glove of the pitcher and no play at first base. That's going to be the weakest of infield singles for Chu Fujia. That was always, from the moment it left the end of Chu's bat, going to be a difficult play for this Taiwanese infield. Not sure even if Wang had let that ball roll to the charging Chen Wei-Chi, if he would have been able to throw out the runner at first. So Chu, a cheap infield dribbler that counts just the same on the score sheet as a spanking line drive into center. 2 runners on, 1 out for Chen Chen, the third baseman for China. First pitch swinging, but that's a weak grounder for the Chinese dugout for strike 1. Chen Chen has not hit a ball into fair territory in this game. A pair of swinging strikeouts. 0-1 pitch. Fouled away for strike 2. Wang Yupu has already thrown more pitches in this inning than Wang Sung Hao did in retiring 3 Chinese batters in any of the first 6 innings of this game. He's thrown 16. The most that Wang Sung Hao had thrown was 14 in an inning. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chen Chen, a singularly futile performance thus far. 3 trips to the plate and 3 swinging strikeouts. Each one a little bit worse than the last. Fourth strikeout of the game for Chinese hitters, and the 3rd time it's Chen Chen rung up. So 2 out now for Luo Jinjin. First pitch in the dirt. Nice stop by Chen Jui Mu behind the plate. And Luo's 1 trip up, he elicited the amazing diving catch by Lin Su Chia in center field. Contender for the defensive play of this Asian Games baseball event. 1-0 pitch. Swing on a low ball. Luo chased ball 2 instead of the count now 1-1. A hit, a walk, and a strikeout for Chinese batters here in the top of the 7th. Number 29 facing number 29, and 29 in white gets the advantage there. Count 1-2 on the number 29 in red, Luo Jinjun. This Chinese team came into this game with a .342 batting average across the competition. 34 runs on 53 hits. But it's not been happening for them today. 1-2 pitch. That's hit hard, but foul. Nice play by the catcher in the bullpen. I think that might have been Wang Chi away, making the grab and framing the pitch. Old habits die hard, wearing that special catcher's mitt. Chen Jui Mu behind the plate, going through the signs to Wang Yupu. He sets, ready for the 1-2 pitch. On the way. Low and in, count even. 23rd pitch of this 7th inning coming up for Wang Yu-pu. His 2nd inning of work in Jakarta this week. 2-2 pitch. That's going to get away and go down as a wild pitch. Both runners advancing. No real blame attached to Chen Juimu there. Only the 2nd wild pitch for Chinese Taipei hurlers in this Asian Games competition. And full count now to Luo Jinjun. A base hit might score 2. Goes and to the right side of the infield. Nice play ranging to his left for Xiao Po-ting. And he gets Luo out at first base by a couple of steps. So the Chinese finally threatened to score a run in this game, but they failed to do so. 2 runners stranded. Bottom of the 7th we go. Chinese Taipei needing 1 run to win this game on the mercy rule and win the bronze medal at this 18th Asian Games. No runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for China. 9 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Chinese Taipei. China has struggled against the better teams here in Jakarta. Apart from their narrow 1-0 loss to Chinese Taipei back on Thursday. Might have thought we might have seen a closer game between these 2 teams today, as first pitch swinging and fouling down the right field line is Chen Wei-chi, who's 0 for 3 in this game for the Taiwanese. Strikeout and 2 groundouts for Chen. Facing a new Chinese pitcher, it's Liu Yu-song on the hill. Count now 1-1. Wouldn't call this the most successful tournament Liu is ever likely to have. One pitch first, that's popped up. Shortstop over, second baseman rather over. Luo Jinjin just in fair territory to make the grab. And Chen Wei-chi 0 for 4 on the day.
Number 7, Xiao Po-ting.
Liu, previous 2 appearances, he's faced 3 batters against Japan and Korea. Gave up a homer, another hit, and a walk. And his first out recorded here in Jakarta this week. As Xiao Po-ting, a sharp liner foul for strike 1. Xiao also looking for his first hit today. A pair of groundouts to second base and a fly out to leaning and right. Missing that one. 1-1 now. Liu to Xiao. And that just catching the corner, so 1-2 on Xiao. Again, Chinese Taipei, as far as we know, looking at the rules here, the competition, that another run here would end the game via the mercy rule. Nice curveball there, though, by Liu, and Xiao fooled, so he's 0 for 4 as well. Only the second strikeout induced by Chinese pitchers in this game.
Number 8,
And Chen Zhuimu, the catcher, staying in 2 for 3 in this contest. Swinging through strike one, though, as Liu Yu Song is on song, it appears, for China in this game. That fastball missing high. The first 3 Chinese pitchers all gave up at least 2 runs. In fact, they all gave up exactly 3 runs. Only 2 of them earned for Zhang Chaochun, the second pitcher of this game. 1-1 is fouled straight back out of play. Meng Wei Chiang, the starter, 1 1/3 pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 1 hit batter. Zhang inning in 2/3. So pitch outside, 2-2 now to Chen. Zhang gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, only 2 of them earned in his appearance. And Qi Xin, 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 3 earned runs, and 2 walks. Not great, is it, as Chen stays alive. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Two-two pitch, curveball, and the catcher Luan tried to sell that as strike 3. Walking towards the Chinese dugout. You be the judge. Looked outside to me. Good call by home plate umpire Yamaguchi. And the full count pitch. Strike 3, swinging instead of called on Chen Zhuimu. 2 strikeouts in the inning. A 1-2-3 inning it was for Liu Yu Song. And so this game rumbles on to the 8th. Still 9-0 for Chinese Taipei. Third pitcher of the game for Chinese Taipei is Chen Bo-hao, on in relief of Wang Yu-pu, who himself relieved Wang Tsung-hao. Wang Yu-pu finishes with an inning pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 wild pitch, and a strikeout for him. And Chen on, having pitched 2 perfect innings, 1 against Indonesia, that's not unexpected, and 1 against Japan, which maybe was a little bit. And a new catcher coming in. It's also Huang Chiu-wei back behind home plate. He, the defensive substitution in this game for the Taiwanese. He will probably not get to bat in this game. His first pitch is fouled off by Luan Chen. Grounded to second and grounded to the shortstop via the pitcher in the 5th inning. That 1-6-3 put out. And swings through strike 2. O2 pitch, fouled away. Still just 2 hits for John McLaren's People's Republic of China team here today. And the 0-2. Dribbled in the Bermuda Triangle over there, but nice play and not the base touched. Chang Chen-Ming making the play in the field, but then when he flipped to Chen Bohao covering it first, he rather overskated himself, if you will, and failed to make contact with the base. Took the wrong trajectory there. Heading across and just a bit outside, if you will. That would appear to have been charged an error. Not sure to who. But it does mean that Luan is on base to lead off the top half of the 8th. Count now 1-1 on Song Yoon Chi. Song flied to right in the 3rd and grounded back to the pitcher in the 6th. Not a lot of plate appearances for these Chinese hitters in the 8th inning of this game as Song goes fishing. 1-2 now on the Chinese center fielder. That's going to be pretty simple. One, oh, the throw is not good. Could have been a double play there. Song back to the pitcher, Chen. Ran in the wrong direction. First batter of the inning, Luan, and now nearly throws it in the wrong direction to the shortstop. Good scoop, but no chance for the double play on Song at first. Don't think those are nerves for Chen Bohao in this game. Not with a 9-0 lead. And only 5 outs to get at most. Is that fastball way too good for Yang Chen? Pair of ground outs to second for him in this game. The 0-1, another swinging strike. Pitch, and that's a terrible strikeout for Yang Jin, the 5th strikeout for Taiwanese pitching in this game. They're going to swing. Don't do that. And this ball back to the pitcher, and first pitch, Liu Zhenhong. Makes it easy for Chen Bohao to pitch around that error that started the top half of the 8th. So again, 1 run away from a mercy killing, going to the bottom of the 8th. Bronze almost in the hands of Chinese Taipei. Liu Yu-song, having pitched an excellent bottom half of the 7th inning, he will now face the 9th, 1st, and 2nd hitters in the Taiwanese batting order, starting with the shortstop turned center fielder Lin Su-chia. And a couple of sacrifice bunts, one of which he reached on a throwing error and scored back in the 4th inning. Also flat out to right to end the 5th inning for Chinese Taipei. Behind 0-1 in the count. Pitch. Behind 0-2 in the count. Chinese Taipei with 2 runs in the 1st inning, 1 in the 2nd inning, 5 in the 4th inning, and 1 more tacked on in the 6th. 0-2 pitch is high for ball 1 to Lin. Apart from the Taiwanese players and coaches involved in this game and their fans, I think the happiest people about the way this game is going must be the Japanese and the Korean players, because they know they're going to have enough time to warm up properly for their game for gold later on at 4 p.m. Jakarta time. That's GMT +7. Make sure you factor daylight savings time into that. If the shoe fits, is that ball off the 3rd baseman Chen Chen, sharply hit. Should he have made the play? I think this might be Lin's first hit. It was sharply hit. Not for the first time. Chen Chen struggling with the sharp grounder in his vicinity in this Asian Games. Has been scored a hit, the 9th hit of the game for Chinese Taipei to match the 9 runs they've scored, and so leadoff hitter on, potential winning run on. Taiju Lang is up. Missing inside that first pitch to tie. Ball 1. Tai's biggest contribution offensively, his 2 RBI triple in the 4th inning. Knocked in Lin and Chen Jui Mu. So ground ball deep in the hole. Tough play. Shortstop for 1 and on to first, but not in time. Tai not exactly trucking up the line, but able to beat out what would have been a very difficult double play to turn. Watch it again here. Yang had to go to his right and stayed deep in the hole there. So it was a long throw to second by double play turning standards. So 1 on 1 out now as Lin Han is up. Runner goes, foul tip caught, and the throw from the Chinese catcher Wang Chiawei. Well off target again. I beg your pardon, it's Luan Chen Chen. Mixing my catchers up slightly, but Luan the throw nowhere near where it's supposed to be. So the potential winning run in scoring position, this ball into the left field hole. It's going to be kicked by the shortstop, Yang Jin, and around third. The throw to the plate is not in time. And Chinese Taipei gets to the 10th run that they need to win the bronze medal. Crowd just realizing now that this game is over. Unlucky for the Chinese. Yang, the shortstop, kicking that ball away from Liu Zhenhong, the left fielder. And Lin's RBI single, I think that has to go down as, will end this game in a thumping Taiwanese victory. Bowing to their fans, third base side of this stadium. has to be a disappointing tournament for the People's Republic of China as the handshakes take place around home plate. They pounded on the two weak teams in Group A, but apart from that, they had one close game against Chinese Taipei 2 days ago in the Super Round and 3 blowout losses. Right from the off, Wang Tsung-hao in complete control of the strike zone for Chinese Taipei. And defensive errors, that one crucial mistake by Chen Chen at third. As Chinese Taipei got 2 runs in the first inning. Great catch in deep left field by Lu Zhenhong to rob Jiang Chenming of what would have been his second extra base hit of the game. But good fielding as well as pitching from the starter Wang. That triple into right center field for Tai Ju Lang. Eventually the home run from Chan Su Shen. That pitch there drilled up for a 2-run home run. Saw the diving catch as well by Lin Su-chi in center field for Chinese Taipei. And it really was that sort of game. An all-around thumping of the Chinese by the Taiwanese. So, bronze.
AS Play รวมความบันเทิงคุณภาพ เปิดความสนุกทุกที่ทุกเวลา
ส่งต่อความมั่นใจสู้ไปด้วยกันนะครับ